Hi guys, welcome to our new lecture for today's games, and today I'm going to show you Anatoly Karpov's best games, and I hope now there was some streaming error, so I'm just checking if that is solved. Uh, just checking for the error. Okay. Yes. Welcome to our new. Yeah. Sorry for the technical difficulty over here. So let's see. Sorry for the technical difficulty over here. Yeah. I'm going to show you today, guys, Anatoly Karpov's best games. So we shall see here. He has been a world champion for quite some time. He was the world champion, and he has beaten some great chess players in his time, including Garry Kasparov, the legend. And sorry for the some technical error was there before, and is everything proper? If anyone can just tell me if the streaming is proper. Yeah. So Anatoly Karpov, born 23rd May 1951, and hi Yug, welcome to my lecture. Thank you. Hi Shresh. Okay, you are all welcome for my video. Let's watch today some great games by Anatoly Karpov. Yug, do I know you personally? Because I've taught a lot of students, so I was wondering. Okay, so here the he was the world champion from 1975 to 1985, and his FIDE rating is 2617, and he's beaten some of the great chess players, so including Garry Kasparov. So I'm going to show you today the first game I'm going to show you is of Garry Kasparov versus Anatoly Karpov. To give you a bit of information, when I was a teenager, that is in 80s, so these two topmost grandmasters were playing their World Chess Championship, Anatoly Karpov and Garry Kasparov. And in those days, there were no internet, no computer, and yes, it was quite a boring kind of a life. And without any computers and internet, I can't imagine the world now without them. So I got to see. I was able to get one book of them, and that's the World Chess Championship 1986 or 1988. I'm not sure, but that was between world champion Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov, and that generated the kind of interest it did, and that's how I fell in love with this game, and I'm completely passionate about this game. Right, that's true. That was from yesterday, I think. Yesterday I said that, right, Yug? So let's start off now this game, and I'm showing you a game where white is Anatoly Karpov and black is Garry Kasparov. So here let's start d4, and black plays knight f6, g4, c4, and black plays g6. This is so far as known as the Fien Chateau. We have to still decide which opening it is. Okay, it can go anyway. It's still not a fixed opening yet, because there are still a lot of different ways of playing after this. So knight c3, that's a normal thing, and black plays here d5. Okay, this is known as the Grunfeld defense. So black is playing d5, that is Grunfeld, and we shall see now. Black is Garry Kasparov. He has been one of my favorites, yes, but today our topic is Anatoly Karpov. So we are going to see. He was also one of the biggest legends, but of course Anatoly Karpov, his playing style was a bit slow. So when people would ask him, what is your style? Once someone asked him, what is your style? He said, I don't have a style. So that was a very humble way of saying, but he doesn't come under your attacking chess players category like Garry Kasparov, but he is known as, a lot of people call him the boa constrictor. Now, boa constrictor is a snake who can, tie itself around your neck and slowly constrict the breath out of you. Okay, so in other words, he actually suffocates his opponents. Okay, so that is what he was known as, a boa constrictor. That's a type of a snake, and we will see here. It was, of course, given a tag name to him out of compliments, not anything else. So let's just see here. He goes, white goes pawn captures pawn, black goes knight takes pawn, and this is all normal. Here in Grunfeld, exchange variation has happened now because pawn captures pawn has happened. And here white plays e4, again a very normal move. Yes, Saubhagya, you're right. He was a very positional player, and that's true. Also, like I said, he would actually suffocate his opponents. That's why the boa constrictor is what I've read about him and heard about him. He was just great. The opponents would just, were totally helpless against him. They wouldn't know what to do against him. So let's see here, even Garry Kasparov, a legend. Garry Kasparov is a real legend who is alive, a living legend. And let's see how Garry Kasparov goes down like Titanic in front of Karpov. Okay, so here he goes, Garry goes knight captures knight, Anatoly goes pawn captures. This is all standard opening of Grunfeld defense. Then comes bishop g7. Again, this is all standard. Fianchetto of the bishop is what it's called. White develops his bishop out on c4. It's a very standard opening as of now. c5, that's a good move, attacking the central pawn. Of course, white cannot capture this pawn over here because of bishop takes pawn, and all these things are happening. Okay, this is only for those who are quite new to this opening and even chess, because this is a very easy way to see here what is happening. Pawn captures pawn is just not possible. Okay, so here white plays knight e2. Now the idea behind knight e2, let me tell you. If white were to play knight f3, then comes bishop g4. So bishop g4 not right away. First black will definitely castle, because if bishop g4 right away, then there is a trick. Can anybody tell me what is the trick if black plays bishop g4 right away? I shall wait. White has a great move if black plays bishop g4. Knight f5. Ashutosh, I think you got the notation wrong. It's either knight e5 or knight g5, but no. Why will knight move? If knight e5, then bishop will just take the queen. Sorry, that will not be working. Just let me just show it to you. Bishop takes queen is happening, and this is a bad thing happening to white. So I'm sorry, white cannot move the knight. queen a4 check is what Shresh is saying, but queen a4, I can simply bring the knight, and no, you're not getting any sort of material over here, so not even queen a4. And Saurabhagya, Saubhagya says bishop f7, and that's right. Bishop takes f7 is right, because after king f7 there is he said knight e5. Now that is wrong. It's not knight e5, it's knight g5, because if knight e5, then black can simply kill the knight. And if queen takes bishop, then of course black gets material here. Black is a piece up. So no, not knight e5, it is knight to g5. No problem, Saubhagya. There is no fault in all these things. We are learning, everybody's learning. Remember, nobody's perfect in life, and yes, even in chess. Even the great Magnus Carlsen makes mistakes and he loses. So nobody's perfect, please remember that. So we are here analyzing their mistakes and their good moves, but nobody's perfect. So knight g5 was the move, but let's go back to the game. Now bishop g4 is not what's happened. Black has I was telling you about why not knight f3, because if knight f3, then black let's say plays here castling, and white also castles, and then here black can come and pin down this knight. Okay, so this pin is what is going to cause trouble. Knight g5, I will have to just check that, Shresh. He says, one second, knight f3, use for bishop g4, you said, okay, I mean, after this there is bishop takes, king takes, knight e5 was wrong, so knight g5, check. Knight g5 is a check. Yeah, knight g5 comes with a check. So Shresh, that's a mistake. All right. Sorry for those who already know this. So let's just go ahead. Here he does not play knight f3, like I said. In this position, he plays knight e2. Okay. So knight e2, no problem, Shresh, and here bishop e3 is what happens, and after the bishop is developed, castling, and white also does castling. Now black here brings his bishop and he's pinning down the knight, and this is not such a good move because white has a very simple move. Can anybody tell me here what is the best move for white? It's a very simple move, addressing to this pin which has just come, bishop g4, f3. No, not h3, Saubhagya is right, it's f3. Okay, that's a good move, it's attacking the bishop. Okay, here Garry Kasparov, I would say here he made a mistake. He's played knight a5 and he's attacking the bishop. That's right, f3. Vinayak, thank you for answering. All of you guys who are participating and answering, it's a good thing. Interaction is important in a lecture, in a class. So here knight a5 is attacking the bishop, and now here white can actually he's got a good move because knight a5 is not the good move. Knight a5 is a bad move. So can anybody tell me here what should white play? Ashutosh has said bishop d3. It's a very passive move, Ashutosh. We have better moves. We have better moves. bd3. Oh wow, a lot of people are just saying bd3. But let me tell you guys, we are talking about a legend, okay? And Karpov. Anatoly Karpov was a legend. He will not play bishop d3. He will think out of the box. Okay. Queen h4. No, queen h4 is not possible. Winak. Sorry, queen a4. Okay. Queen a4, the knight will just kill the bishop and queen will kill the knight. No, not happening. Not happening. Okay, I will just show you what Karpov did. Well, it's very simple. Karpov is getting this bishop. Okay, so this bishop, sorry, not bishop d3. It just went there by mistake. So here, this bishop goes in a harakiri mode. Harakiri mode for Japanese is suicide. It goes in a suicidal mode. That means just we go and capture the pawn. Okay, because I'm getting this bishop, that's why. Yeah, bishop f7 is correct, Kiran. And then here he kills, rook takes f7, and white just kill that. And you can see here white has won a pawn. So rook takes rook happened, and white played here king to f1. Yeah, here of course queen takes f1 is not a good move. Can anybody tell me why this is not a good move? Queen f1. White actually played king takes f1. Okay, he got the king out. Yeah, we're gonna see that Shresht, the black rooks got traded, and here white killed. I want to know why white killed king f1. Can anybody tell me what happens with queen to f1? Why did Anatoly Karpov not play? Low's mobility of queen. Ashutosh, that's the right thing, but one can argue that queen is coming on an open file. There is something else. Yes, Saubhagya, you're right. Queen f1 gets knight c4. That's the right move here. Well done, Saubhagya. Knight c4 is the move, and then when bishop goes on f2, say, then white has a nice move again. Can you tell me what can black, sorry, not white, after bishop f2, black has a nice move. Sometimes we do get confused. Sorry about that. So can you tell me here, what does black have if queen f1? After queen f1 and bishop f2. There is knight to d2. That's right. Kiran, Shresht, both are right. Knight to d2 it is. And that's a fork. As you can see, the white pawn here is attacked and the queen is attacked. Queen will have to move and the pawn will die. Right. Okay. So we'll go back. So this is the reason the great Karpov did not kill the rook here with the queen. He killed it with the king. Okay. So king f1 has come in this position, and then black plays here queen d6. Immediately Garry Kasparov, like an eagle's eye, he sees this and he's immediately going for attack. But of course Karpov, it's very easy here. I don't think queen d6 is a good move at all, because you're just attacking the pawn. I am not a great chess player to criticize the great legend Garry Kasparov, but maybe here this is a hasty move, because as you can see, white can easily here handle the position with e5. Okay, so e5 is the move, and this threat is of no use. It's actually black is now lost tempo. Tempo means a move. In chess we call that a tempo, and he goes queen d5. Queen d5 is nothing happening to white with queen d5, and let's go here. He goes bishop f2 and rook d8. Now this is putting more pressure on d4. Okay, but as of now, let's see how many pieces here. b4 is protected by 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces are defending the pawn. And how many are attacking this pawn? 1, 2, and even this rook, so 3. So 3 pieces, as you can see, they are defending. I should be doing with the green because they are defending. Okay, so just so understood here. So it's white is already well defended. So he goes queen a4, attacking the knight. Knight is defended now, and he comes back to c2, rook f8. Here the game becomes a bit slow. Okay, no, bishop takes e5 is not coming as of now. In this position, bishop takes e5 will not be coming because why would okay, rook d8. After rook d8, yes, bishop e5 is coming. That's the reason white has moved to queen a4. That's right. Saubhagya, bishop takes pawn is threatened here, and queen a4 is the move because of that. b6, the queen was attacking the knight incidentally after moving, and queen c2 back again. Here you must have noted the queen is not coming back on d1. If she comes back on d1, of course the pawn goes. Rook f8, the rook is coming, and rook is focusing his attention now on the other square on the open file. So here king to g2, king to g1, and queen c4. Is it lagging? I hope it's not lagging. Sometimes it does lag, so if it's lagging, guys, let me know. Hopefully it's not lagging. Queen d2 is what white played, and queen e6 is attacking the g4 pawn. h3, the pawn is defending, and after this, knight c4, it's attacking the queen. Okay, queen g5. He's now brought the queen on a attacking square here near to the king. Let's see what happens here. Probably knight f4 is what is being okay, thank you for confirming, Saubhagya. So knight f4 is what is being threatened now. h6, queen c1. So white just has to go back now with the queen all the way back. Queen f7, and you can see here this is a battery. This is a battery attacking the bishop. Okay, so right. All right, so coming back to the game here, queen f2 is what is being attacked, and bishop just moved away. g5 happens. Like I said, the game will become a bit slow here, so sorry, there was a little the board had disappeared a bit. So queen c2, and here black plays queen to d5, and he's coming in the center, and queen is centralized on a very important diagonal. Also black stops white from coming on e4, queen e4, bishop f2, and b5, knight to g3. Now knight to g3 is a very important move because knight will go on a very important square. That important square is f5, knight to f5, rook f7, and here white is first playing rook e1, getting the rook behind the pawn in case e6 is possible. Also these key squares are controlled. The e4 square is controlled 3 times now, which means you know, and main thing is this this pawn can also move now to attack. Let's see what happened. He's played b4 in this position, and here white decides to get his queen active. He plays queen to g6, and also now the knight is going to join the queen. So in this position, black is playing king f8. He's getting his bishop unpinned because and by the way, white has now gathered advantage slowly. Here the better move was king h8, but king f8 is what black played, and white played here knight to e4. Now knight to h5 was a better move for white, but let's see now what happened in the game. Knight to e4, rook takes bishop. Now rook takes bishop has come because let's say if black were to not play rook takes bishop, and let's say he plays rook f4. Now if he were to play rook f4, then I can take this pawn, knight to c5, and his position is just deteriorating. So black actually can feel himself smothered over here. Rook takes bishop is just desperation, nothing else. I don't know here. If you are black, what would you play here? I mean, let's say a very simple move like even a5 is not happening because of e6. Okay, and you can see here the rook is again in trouble, and if he does rook f4, then white has here bishop to g3, and you can see here the rook is trapped. Rook is completely trapped. He has nowhere to go. There are no squares for the rook to go. Here, everywhere the rook is getting captured. So e6 is what was coming, and here that's why in desperation, since the black rook is dying anyways, he went and captured the bishop, and white here kills with the king. Yes, it's safe to kill with the king. I know one should not bring the king out. I think a lot of people who are here know that, but king f2 is perfectly fine over here. And then there comes he's killed, pawn captures pawn, and white gives a check here. King goes inside again. One more check is coming, and you can see that c5 pawn is also going in this position. King h7, and white goes for the pawn. After accumulating these advantages, it's a winning endgame for white. If queen takes queen, he's going to capture. Yes, that's what he didn't do. Queen takes queen. He went and gave a check. But if it's queen takes queen, then there is knight takes queen, and this is all fine because c2, this pawn will never see the it'll never go to its dream square. Definitely not, because white is going to make sure of that with rook c1 and knight a3 and then king e3. And you can see here this is of no use. White has a endgame where he's easily winning. So okay, so here white plays king to g1 after queen f7 check, c2 happen, knight g3, and black is not having any great moves over here. He just goes bishop f8. The idea over here, of course, is to play maybe he wanted to play this e6, but then e6, the problem is queen will kill the knight, so I don't, yeah, even e6 is not happening, but bishop f8 has been played, knight f5. White is actually provoking e6, and e6 is just not possible, because if e6, then queen takes knight. Going back to the game, knight f5, and here black plays king g8. Nothing better is there for black, and I'm sure Gary out here must be feeling so frustrated, and that's what happened. Rook to c1, and you see the last of his hopes, the last hope of his, I mean to say, is dying. The pawn on c2 is just going, and now it cannot be saved. So Gary is completely in a losing position, and he resigns here. He throws in the towel, and well, that's what. There is except Saubhagya is asking, except knight g3, wasn't e6 better? Knight g3. Okay, we're talking about this position. Knight g3, wasn't g3 better? No, I don't think so. You see, wasn't knight g3, wasn't e6 better? E6, but why would white give this pawn? White cannot give this pawn. Forward from here, okay. Knight g3 and rook f7, e4, and so there was only once knight g3. Later on knight g3 didn't come. Yeah, here, okay. Instead of knight g3, wasn't e6 better? If e6, well, I can simply take this pawn, queen takes e6, and I know what you mean to say, knight g5. This is a mistake, because pawn takes knight, rook takes queen, and c1 queen. Okay, I hope I answered your question. So queen c1 check happens, and this is quite equal. Okay, so let's see another game now. I hope you liked this game, and we'll see one more game by Anatoly Karpov. Let's quickly move on to the next game. Okay, the next game here is he's black, and he's against our own Vishwanathan Anand. Okay, so let's just see this game now, what happened. And Anand, of course, is a living legend, just like Karpov. So when two legends meet, and this was in FIDE World Chess Championship here in Lausanne, and Karpov versus Anand. Karpov was here. Karpov was black, and let's just see what happened. d4, d5, bishop g5. Now bishop g5 is just it comes under irregular openings. Okay, this is nothing regular here. The openings here categorized is irregular. His opponent is Vishwanathan Anand. Okay, our Vishwanathan Anand, our best chess player of India, and he was best chess player of Asia also. I'm not sure now if he's still the best chess player of Asia. He was also a world champion for 10 years. I have had a great opportunity of meeting him, and he's just fabulous. He's a very humble person, and not like there are no airs about him, nothing. He's very, very humble. He meets with everyone with equal humility. So let's just see here the great Karpov facing our legend Vishwanathan Anand. H6 is the move. Bishop H4 happened. C6. Now this is just like I said, it's a queen pawn game. It's categorized as queen pawn game. Black cannot play E6 here because the bishop is pinning this pawn. So he'll have to do something about that. The queen will have to move. Yes, Ashutosh, Vishwanathan Anand is a favorite of a lot of people. It's a pleasure to see his games and the way he plays. Even now he's doing very well. So let's just see here. Next move, knight f3, queen b6. Okay, queen b6 is a very simple move. It's attacking the pawn on b2, and b3 happened. Bishop f5, it's developing a bishop on a good square. e3 and knight to d7, bishop d3, bishop takes bishop. I'm going a little fast because the opening is very normal of bringing the pieces out. Some pieces get exchanged. Queen d3, and here black, like I said, he had to move the queen to play e6, so the queen has moved and e6 has come now. White plays c4, attacking the central pawn, and black plays here. Black has even bishop b4 here. Bishop b4 check. You are developing your piece out, and you're giving a check. But here black first plays, Karpov plays knight to e7, and c5 has happened. Queen to a5. Hack learners, you have in other lecture also been spamming, so please do not spam here. This lecture is in English. If you can follow English, it's well and good. Otherwise, you can have your session, whoever is speaking in Hindi, you can go there and watch. Thank you. Queen a5, knight to c3, and in this position b6 came. It's attacking the c5 pawn. b4. That's true, Ashutosh. Vishy sir also beat Mikhail Tal. That was an amazing game, and maybe I will be showing that game some other time. My next lecture, I have some topics set up. Before we finish, definitely I will let everyone know. Queen takes b4. Now this position, white is playing b4, and I really don't know why here he's given this pawn. Okay, because black can take the pawn, and black accepted the pawn and the challenge, and black even waited for rook b1 to come, but nothing as such is happening with rook b1. Let's say for instance rook b1. Black has queen a3, and this is just fine for black. If rook b3, then black can in fact go to c1, and knight d1 comes, and queen can return back to c4. Queen captures queen, pawn captures, and this rook has to return. If he goes rook c3, well then you see it's all good for black because g5, bishop g3 and b5. This is what is happening. So yes, to get the rook active, but you should get some compensation for a pawn. Remember that we do sacrifice pawns to activate our pieces, but there was no compensation for this pawn. So maybe Anand thought he will get some compensation, but it didn't happen. Remember, we are all humans and we all miscalculate, we all make mistakes. So of course there is no disrespect for either of the players. They are a great we are looking at the legends. Okay, so knight f5 happened and knight is attacking the bishop. Black is eyeing the bishop, and rook to c1, pawn captures pawn, and here finally comes rook b1, the pawn which he had sacrificed earlier. But black has here a good move. Can anyone tell me here a good move for black? Because black here played a good move. Also, black here is 2 pawns up. Yes, most satisfying answer is to activate the rook, but like I said, there was no compensation for the lost pawn. So one has to, of course, the assessment sometimes can go wrong. Yes, Saubhagya, you're right. c4 is the move. It's a counter attack. Well done, Saubhagya. So c4 attacks the queen, and this is a lovely counter attack. White goes here queen to c2, and black plays. Now of course, if white saves the queen, black also must save the queen. Queen a5 is what happened, and white here tries to infiltrate inside black's camp with rook to b7, because black hasn't castled yet. Okay, black here plays queen a6. He's questioning the rook. The queen is questioning the rook. Hey buddy, what do you want? You can't just come in like this. But white rook has his partners, so he comes out and says, why not? I am there, buddy, don't you worry. He's telling his rook brother or whatever. I like to make up stories, so please bear with that. And so here the white rook is waving out to his brother, says, here, I'm there for you, don't you worry. So in this position, black goes bishop d6, and white plays e4, attacking the knight. And black here simply, of course, he can take this thing, knight h4, knight to b6. So let me see here, knight to b6 is what there, but there is rook c7. Yeah, nothing much is happening with knight to b6 because of rook c7. Everything is under control. The rook is not going. So let's go back. That's the reason perhaps Karpov didn't choose knight b6. Rook cb1, bd6, and e4 came, and there came knight takes h4, knight takes h4. Black is better here because black is 2 pawns up. That's Karpov. And here white plays white has played here rook to b8. Sorry, my bad. Black has played here rook to b8, and of course this is forcing the exchange of rooks. Why not knight b6? Like, because I showed you it was rook c7. Okay, you're saying over here knight takes okay, here if knight to b6, Well, let's see what happens. Knight to b6 is a good move. That's true. You're right. Knight to b6. Prabha Sharma, you're absolutely right. Knight to b6 was a better move than what Karpov played. Wow, that's something good. We have someone here who, showed a better move from black side. That's Anatoly Karpov. He's playing. Also, knight b6. Yes, it is obvious here now because rook cannot come on c7 like earlier. So he's played rook b8. But nevertheless, black is quite better over here because he's 2 pawns up. But yes, he should have played knight b6, and white has nothing except taking this knight. And also there is one weird variation. Rook takes. Let's just see that. King takes, and white is playing here pawn takes pawn. 1 second. Yeah, pawn takes pawn. Black will play pawn takes pawn. Actually, if black plays pawn takes pawn, then white has a great move, that is queen g6, and this can actually give a draw to white, and white would be happy to take the draw here because queen e6 check, king h7, queen to f5 check, king g8, and so on. So there was a draw, but not forced. Let me tell you, the draw is not forced because on pawn takes pawn he will not do this, okay, or this. Sorry, he will not capture this pawn like this or like this. Black has a much better move here. Black can simply go queen c8, and if queen g6, there comes king g8, pawn takes pawn, and black is doing fine here, queen e8, and it's again black who's winning the game. Knight b6 is bad because of let's just see. You mean to say here knight b6 is bad because of e5? No, I'm afraid not. Queen takes rook and pawn takes bishop. This is all good for black. This is all good for black. There's nothing bad. Black is having the advantage. He's hogging the advantage. Castling happens. So all this is good. So let's go back to the game now. Rook b8 is what was played and captures, and bishop captures the rook, and we shall see from here onwards. After sack, e5 is better. We can see that. You mean to say after this sack, rook takes f7, king takes f7, and e5? Not really. Not really. Bishop f8 is coming. Bishop f8 is coming, and well, nothing great. You can say even yeah, bishop f8 should be fine here. Yeah, nothing is happening. You see, queen g6. I can just move now even on the yeah, here it's very important that I don't go to g8, because if I go to g8 then this is a draw, this is a draw. Okay, but if I go to king e7, it's again black who is better. So going back to the game here, rook b8, rook takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. I love this pawn chain, and the fact that black is 2 pawns up. Okay, that's 2 pawns up is a lot when 2 grandmasters or 2 world champions, actually, because they both have been world champions, they were playing. So 2 pawns is quite a big advantage, but let's just see now what happened. Next, knight g6. Now that's a sacrifice. Anand is giving a knight. No, Ayusha, the question is, what happens to the game during the draw condition? Will the moves keep on repeating? No, there is a rule which says if 3 times if you repeat the same moves, it's a draw. So it'll be draw by 3 times repetition. Yeah, it's known as 3-fold repetition. That's right, Saubhagya. So the moves cannot keep on repeating because then the game will never end. And what will Karpov and Anand do if they don't go back home? So that's just a joke. So yes, let's go back to the game. Knight g6, pawn takes, and black here accepts the challenge of accepting that knight, and queen takes, pawn check, king d8. You can see here black king is perfectly safe even though it's in the center. So here you see most of the times when the king is in the center, it's kind of the player is very tense, but you can see here Karpov is just quite comfortable here in this position. Black king is quite comfortable, I mean to say. Queen takes pawn happened, but rook e8 comes, and queen now white suddenly has grabbed 2 pawns. Okay, but black is a piece up. So queen a5 is coming, and that's what happened after queen a5. White plays here queen to g5, again a check, king c8. King is slowly moving to the right side of the board. Quite a nice walk. Queen g6 again. The queen is attacking. These are just 1 point attacking singular attacks. Rook f8, rook c1, and queen b6. Now queen is eyeing that d4 pawn, as you can see, and also queen is supporting the e6 pawn. Knight to e2, protecting the pawn on d4, and e5 happens. With e5, even the black knight will be free now to move. Also, yes, with e5 you can see this black queen is saying a hi to the white queen, and she's saying wanna trade. So white queen of course says no, she's running, and after that queen f6. Now look at that, this is again a battery, we call it a battery. It's attacking the pawn, and rook f1 comes to the rescue of that pawn, and black here plays queen to h8, sorry, rook to h8, my bad. And this is again a very big advantage for black, because queen to g4, let's say, if queen to g4, now black is going to play ex d4, and you can see here black won one more pawn because bishop and the rook both are attacked, both are attacking, sorry. So they are attacking the pawn and on h2. So this game is almost over. He resigned over here, rook h8, white resigned, and if I've just showed you, if e takes if queen g4, then e takes d4, and here black has got these 3 pawns together, a nice phalanx of pawns together, because white will have to play here g3 or h3, and black will just move one more pawn pushing, and this is not happening. The game is almost, it's over. So I hope you guys liked my lecture, and I was able to answer all the queries which came my way in the most efficient manner. and I will be now seeing you guys. My next lecture schedule is for most welcome. My next lecture is on on the great Nimzowitsch. In case you guys have not heard about the player called Nimzowitsch, I would like to suggest to just Google. His name was Aron Nimzowitsch. My next lecture will be on him, titled Nimzowicz's Witch Effect. It's tomorrow, 19th August at 7 p.m. And hopefully I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. with my lecture on Nimzowitsch. He was a great legend, so please do come in and watch. Okay, thank you all of you. Thank you, Saubhagya. I shall be seeing you tomorrow in case you guys are free. Hopefully you all are. All right, see you. Take care. Bye.